Mine is the growth of a few minutes. Hands off, I say." "Regularly done," said Patterson, removing his hold of the patrico's chin, and looking as blank as a cartridge. "Ay," exclaimed Coates, "all owing to this worthless piece of carrion. If it were not that I hope to see him dangling from those walls," pointing towards the castle, "I should wish her master were by her side now. To the dogs with her!" And he was about to spurn the breathless carcass of poor Bess, when a sudden blow, dealt by the patrico's staff, felled him to the ground. "I'll teach you to molest me," said Balthazar, about to attack Patterson. "Come, come," said the discomfited chief constable, "no more of this. It's plain we're in the wrong box. Every bone in my body aches sufficiently without the aid of your cudgel, old fellow. Come, Mr. Coates, take my arm, and let's be moving. We've had an infernal long ride for nothing." "Not so," replied Coates. "I've paid pretty dearly for it. However, let us see if we can get any breakfast at the bowling green yonder, though I've already had my morning draught," added the facetious man of law, looking at his dripping apparel. "Poor Black Bess," said Major Mowbray, wistfully regarding the body of the mare as it lay stretched at his feet. "Thou deservest a better fate, and a better master. In thee Dick Turpin has lost his best friend. His exploits will, henceforth, want the colouring of romance, which thy unfailing energies threw over them. Light lie the ground over thee, thou matchless mare." To the bowling green the party proceeded, leaving the patrico in undisturbed possession of the lifeless body of Black Bess. Major Mowbray ordered a substantial repast, to be prepared with all possible expedition. A countryman in a smock frock was busily engaged at his morning's meal. "To see that fellow bolt down his breakfast, one would think he had fasted for a month," said Coates. "See the wholesome effects of an honest, industrious life, Patterson. I envy him his appetite. I should fall to with more zest were Dick Turpin in his place." The countryman looked up. He was an odd looking fellow, with a terrible squint, and a strange contorted countenance. "An ugly dog!" exclaimed Patterson. "What a devil of a twist he has got!" "What's that you says about Dick Turpin, mister?" asked the countryman, with his mouth half full of bread. "Have you seen aught of him?" asked Coates. "Not I," mumbled the rustic; "but I hears all the folks hereabouts talk on him. They say as how he sets all the lawyers and constables at defiance, and laughs in his sleeve at their efforts to cotch him. Ah, he gets over more ground in a day than they do in a week. Ho, 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 ho!" "That's all over now," said Coates, peevishly. "He has cut his own throat, ridden his famous mare to death." The countryman almost choked himself in the attempt to bolt a huge mouthful. "Ay, indeed, measter. How happened that?" asked he, so soon as he recovered speech. "The fool rode her from London to York last night," returned Coates. "Such a feat was never performed before. What horse could be expected to live through such work as that?" "Ay, it were a foo to attempt that," observed the countryman. "But you followed belike?" "We did." "And took him after all, I reckon?" asked the rustic, squinting more horribly than ever. "No," returned Coates, "I can't say we did. But we'll have him yet. I'm pretty sure he can't be far off. We may be nearer him than we imagine." "May be so, mister," returned the countryman; "but I might be so bold as to ax how many horses you used in the chase. Some half dozen, maybe." "Half a dozen," growled Patterson. "We had 20 at the least." "And I, one," mentally ejaculated Turpin, for he was the countryman. End of Chapter 12, Book 4.